thoughts on the latest recording of Senator Sam Dastyari's comments about the South China Sea? Is this incriminating evidence?
No, it's not. It's probably very injudicious of him. But, you know, we've got people in this place who speak openly against our support for Israel. And nobody seems to think that that's disloyal. We've got Labor Party people who want us to cut relationships with Israel and support a country that doesn't even exist, which is against government policy, including Labor Party policy. So for Sam to be speaking against Labor Party policy is by no means unique. The only issue is whether or not it was as a response to donations, either to him or to his party. And that's a good question. If it was as a consequence of donations, then obviously that's, well, borderline corruption, if not outright corruption. But just expressing a viewpoint which is contrary to Labor policy, I think is also quite wrong policy, but nonetheless, he's entitled to a view. I don't think that's at all unusual, really.
Where's the line, I guess, between, or where do you put the line between being able to speak your mind and observing some kind of senatorial responsibility?
Well, that's a matter for the Labor Party. You know, if they want all their people to toe the party line, that's a Labor issue rather than our concern. My concern with people in my party is that they don't contradict Liberal Democrats' policy. That's not an issue for anybody else outside my party, and I'm not sure why it should be our concern if Sam is deviating from Labor policy. The only issue really is whether he's taken that point of view as a consequence or in connection with some sort of financial benefit to the party or to his own campaign or something like that. I'm quite confident there was no personal benefit out of it, but whether there was some advantage to the Labor Party financial that led him to say that would be a matter of some concern. But we don't know if that's the case, so you know, I can't really go further than that.
How real is the threat of China's influence in Australian politics, do you think?
Well, they certainly haven't come and talked to me about it. It would appear that they are influential in the Chinese media in Australia. It would appear that they get touchy about Chinese students here in Australia. I have heard stories from Chinese people that Chinese government agents are a bit overbearing in attempting to get Chinese people here in Australia to toe the party line or toe the Chinese Communist Party line. So it would appear that they're very concerned about the Chinese diaspora in Australia and to not have them wander off the party line. They also are very anti-Taiwan, which is very unfortunate. A question I had in the Senate recently exposed the fact that Australia has in fact decided not to proceed with a free trade agreement with Taiwan, notwithstanding the fact that a couple of years ago, when I investigated this situation, that a free trade agreement with Taiwan was very much on the agenda, and it was only a matter of time of getting to it. They're no longer working towards it, and it would appear that China's influence on the Australian government is responsible for that change. So China is very influential in Australia in all sorts of ways.